Sandra Powell and her husband Andrew King were major collectors of Australian modernist painters with works by established masters such as Sid Nolan and Arthur Boyd when they had an epiphany. They fell in love with the art of the street. They also sold their successful fashion business and turned their collection over for their newfound love, street art. But not only do they begin buying street artists' works, they make the decision that they collect the art produced by street artists, not necessarily street art. Sandra and Andrew, dubbed Sandrew by their friends, have done much more than that. They've actively sponsored artworks and events and even invited the artists to stay with them in their large Victorian mansion when they're in town. It's a very holistic approach. Why is it now that street art is suddenly finding itself in the NGV, for example?
I was told that one of the biggest problems that museums have today is that they have people go to museums between the ages of, when they're first born, when their parents take them, up until they're about the age of 14, when the schools, they go with school and everything. And then they completely taper off. And they don't start going back to museums until they're in their 30s, when they start taking their own children back. So I think that the museums around the world realise that there's a really big gap between, and this is relevant eventually, but that there is a really big gap between the ages of about 15 and 30 of, these people just don't go to museums anymore in the main. So they're trying to get that demographic back, and that demographic of people are interested in the art of their time. And the art of our time at the moment for that age group is without a doubt street art.
Just talk to me a bit about why is street art so important to kids today?
Well, it's just I'm not a kid, so it's really hard. I know what's important to me, but it's just what they see around them everywhere, and also it's the beginning of just sort of there's a naughtiness to it, and most kids, teenagers, go through a stage of wanting to do something that's that's anti-establishment. So I just think that it's a rebellion. It's rebellious. Kids love getting into anything that's rebellious, but the creative kids that are rebellious will get into street art. And it's exactly the same as the Sydney Nolans and the Joy Hesters of their time. They were the young crazies, and if they were around today, they'd be well. Sydney Nolan, of course, did pick up a spray can later on in his life and did a whole series of works on canvas using a spray can.